don't have a seating chart. I'm just going to try to call on somebody. Eliza, let's start with you. Are you ready?
Sure.
I would say just about every single year, everybody remembers inverse incorrectly. Do you remember what an inverse is?
It undoes the function.
Oh, that's a good answer. Won't help in some situations, but that helps in a function situation, yeah. Also, undoing the function is a good way to think about a linear function, probably. But you get anything more than linear, and that makes it really difficult. Anybody else? Should I have you call on somebody?
Sure.
Okay.
Caroline?
I felt like that was going to be it anyway, but I...
I don't like the X and Y, the weighted range.
Good. That's a good one. So no matter how complicated a function is, if you flip the coordinate around, that's an inverse. The one mistake that I guess I usually see is somebody will just flip a number upside down because I'm going to guess that they were told in the past that that was an inverse by somebody just trying to use, that's the reciprocal. Are you guys ready for inverses yet? Okay. Our goal is to find the derivative of an inverse function. My thoughts were today we would focus on inverse, having you remember what an inverse is. And then tomorrow do the derivative of the inverse. Yes, no? Are we still at an awkward stage yet that you guys don't know your neighbors yet? And okay. This is great conversation. I like talking to myself a lot. Should I force you to do a mini icebreaker? Because I really don't like icebreakers. I'll tell you right now, I'm not going to do an icebreaker game. But one thing that usually kills me to the core, by the end of the trimester, if we keep the same seating chart all trimester, it is shocking how many of you do not know the name of the person sitting next to you. So I feel like we will take a mini icebreaker. Just find out the person's name next to you at least. Introduce yourself. It's normal human interaction, like strangers. You have to introduce yourself to strangers occasionally. Just find out the name of the people you're sitting next to. Let's start with that. Then you guys won't feel so awkward. What did you say? What you would go by? Is it like just the letters UK or do you spell it somehow?
Yeah, just the letters.
I feel like I had your sister. You have like an older brother and sister. That's probably not it. Maybe. Who is it? Who is it?
She's a Greek.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah, did we get that down? Now you guys don't feel so super awkward? Or even at least if you feel awkward, you know the person you're sitting next to anyway. Okay. You guys actually did inverses slightly in pre-calc. Do you guys remember how to check if something's inverse? Oh, okay. Do you remember Fogg and Goff? No?
We don't remember.
F of G? G of F? I thought your pre-calc book wrote it as like F and then it used the little O symbol. That's Fogg, F of G. Are you telling me nobody called it Fogg and Goff?
No.
What's wrong with you guys? You're supposed to be mathematicians, like to do logical things. If it says F-O-G, you call it Fogg. G-O-F is Goff. Like that it's been throughout time. So it's technically composite functions, f of g, g of f. If two functions are inverse, together, when you do f of g and g of f, your answer will be x. Does that even slightly ring a bell? You guys are not supposed to black out and like purposely like try to forget pre-calc.
Yeah, we don't need to.
Like it literally is in the name pre-calculus to get you ready for calculus. If you forget everything you learned last year, then it doesn't help you this year.
We don't do it on purpose, it just happens.
It just happens. Okay, Caroline, we're going to take a slight detour here. I need you to call on somebody. Say it again. What was it again? Sai? I felt like it was longer than that.
Right, that's my nickname.
Oh. Okay, now I feel better. I was going to say, I thought I remember asking you. Okay. I suppose I better actually print out a seating chart soon so I can write down nickname, what you guys want to go by. Are you ready for your introduction? What? Why not? It's time to go to the whiteboard. You can thank Caroline. She's the one that called on you. I'll move this. Oh, that didn't take long. Come on up. Don't worry, we won't judge you much. Do you need like an emotional support person up there with you?
Yeah.
Go for it. You can call on somebody. They can stand next to you.
Eliza.
They're not going to do anything, but like it's just less stressful when they're standing by you. Okay, ready? Yep. You probably have to tap on the marker though. I don't know if it'll write otherwise. Oh, perfect. Okay, up on the top, f of x equals. That's an X? Is that how you write an X on the test, though?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely don't. Because otherwise that very much mimics a U, and we're going to be doing a lot of U substitution. Okay, so f of x equals, I don't know, let's make one up. We'll start off easy. 3x plus 4. Okay? Next to it, g of x equals. Actually, that one looked a lot different than the one on the first one, so maybe on paper it's better. Okay, so let's see. Well, we got to actually think of the inverse. So that's times 3 plus 4. So on the top of a fraction, x minus 4 divided by, and the whole thing divided by 3. I think that's right. It's been a while since I had to actually make them. Now, for us to verify things are inverse, we have to do Fogg and Goff. That's what I was hoping to have you do. How about we have you do Fogg, f of g of x, and then I'll let you choose somebody to do g of f of x. Perfect. Although that x is killing me. Okay. And you guys are welcome to judge me when I write too, because I write terribly. That you got an emotional support person right here. You didn't forget though. You were doing it correctly. I think you just didn't trust yourself. We're not doing derivatives.
Put the function in for that.
You are whatever's inside the parentheses goes in place of x. Whoa, what is going on? What is that thing at the beginning?
This?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Oh, all right. I thought you were trying to write something there. Okay, but you got an X as an answer. That's a good sign. That means it's quite possible that these two are inverse. to verify that they are inverse, you have to do f of g of x and g of f of x. Nice. So you look like you definitely want to call on somebody else for do the next one. That's fine.
Ian.
Want me to do it?
Well, she just called on you. Ian, would you like an emotional support person up here with you?
G of F, right?
I don't know if I would trust him, though.
Yeah, I trust you.
Did you ask him what he did on his last test?
It's okay.
I don't mean his score. I'm not talking about that.
He's good looking.
I'll just leave that one alone. I don't understand how that would have anything to do with it. What are we doing? Okay. I don't know. You just started like flying away there.
All right.
Basically, when the functions are inverse, everything works out perfectly. That like this looks like it shouldn't be that great when you put a function in place of x, but because everything is already set up to be inverse and opposite and everything's compatible and works out good. Okay, perfect. Both of them turned out to be x. So they are inverse. You guys definitely will have to do this at some point, and it will most likely not just be linear functions. But I thought we would start with this. Questions on anything up there? Okay? Nope, I didn't want that. Ian, next person. Yours is going to be pretty straightforward and easy. Okay, I need you to write the point. That is awfully literal. It's not wrong, but I was just hoping of the actual point. That sure. Okay, we need some numbers. Calling somebody for numbers.
Denise, 11.
That's one number.
4.
Good. Okay. What would be the inverse of that point?
-4, -11.
Nope.
No?
But you do have like 34 other people. You're basically the teacher right now, so you can just like call on people to help you out or tell them.
What's the 4, 11.
All right, let's label it. You called it the point, which works. Next one should be called the inverse. Yeah. Okay, good. That's it. This feels like it should be too easy. If you want. Unless you want to stand up there, and I'm okay with that too. Oh, no, you didn't want to keep going? Oh, all right. This is actually going to be kind of the basis of what we're going to have to do when we're finding the derivative of an inverse. Let's, hold on. I'm going to have you call the next person. What? This is all the same people over and over again. Okay, next to the point, 11.4. I mean, that feels super official when it's called the point. Oh, you had come up to give support? Okay. Next to the point, 11.4, let's write m equals Or, okay, no, I take that back. We'll erase that. We'll be more official. We'll be calc official. We won't write M. F prime equals, actually it's not going to be X. It's F prime of 11. Yeah, I don't know. Smartboard's kind of dumb sometimes. Hold on, I'll help you out. Yeah, there we go. I'd say we just start over. Just write a number. Doesn't matter to me. 4. Okay. First thing, when we see the prime notation, what does that represent? So it's the instantaneous slope. Okay. How should I phrase this? Calc likes to take things that are sort of straightforward and make them complicated. Write F prime down below. Nope, next to the inverse. Down, next to the inverse. Yep. F prime. Oh, nope, back up. Do you remember how to write inverse as function notation? Yeah. You don't have to erase that. Oh, okay. Well, you are now. Okay. Oh, no. Now -1. Wait, what do you call? Why do you hate what you write? No, you need both things. -1. Yeah, we definitely shouldn't do that one. That looks like a 4. Let's do -1. Why do you keep erasing everything? Okay, next. There we go. Perfect. The notation for the derivative of the inverse is going to be horrible because of that. And especially since some of you aren't the greatest in terms of readability, the -1 and the prime sometimes can totally just like blend together. And you're going to have to be really careful when you write them. So that notation is saying the slope of the inverse, the instantaneous slope of the inverse. Now, you started it off perfect because 4 is where it's happening at. Oh, you know what? We shouldn't have done 4 up top. Let's erase that 4 up top just because we've got too many 4s, which is 13 or something stupid. You know,
Why do you have against 13?
what's with the 4? I'm starting to question this logic here. If the slope on the original function is 14, what's going to be the slope of the inverse? Perfect. And this definitely doesn't help avoid the confusion that some people, when I say the word inverse, they immediately in their head think flip upside down. This doesn't help avoid that confusion. But this is basically what we're going to do. This is kind of the goal of this section. Nice. Thank you. You did a great job being emotional support there. Yeah.
For the notation, we just do ddx of f over time.
No. ddx is the notation saying you're going to do the derivative. Prime is the notation saying that that is the derivative. So I get what you're trying to say. But not only that, we actually are only going to be able to do this on function notation. That's going to be part of it, part of the details that we're not going over yet. I already forgot who went. Gentlemen? Can you just pick a random number instead of just picking? Because otherwise, we're going to have the same cycle of the same group going over and over.
32.
Who's desk 32? They're not in order. They're just random.
I am.
Did you know that when you picked 32? Well, you've already answered today anyway, though, right? I thought you got called on.
Oh, yeah, Wells.
Well, that means you answered. Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
Good. Okay, different number.
17.
Nice. Okay. Now, we're going to take this same information, but actually show it visually because I think that's going to help some people a lot more. Let's make, this would be a great spot for me to know how to use the smartboard. I thought there was a way to make the background be, oh yeah. Oh, those are way too small.
Zoom in.
I don't know. Let's see if that works. But I can't zoom in that much, though. Did that even change?
I'm changing the size.
So it keeps the same background no matter what the zoom in is. Yep, we don't want that background. You guys are supposed to be the smart ones that tell me how to do this.
Make a grid yourself. You don't mind.
I don't want to do that. I'm lazy.
And have someone in class do it.
That's true. I could do that, but we don't want to do that either. I remember there was a super easy way to make the background a grid. Ugh. We could make it flowers. How about we have something educational be in here? Ooh.
Large. Down a bit. Down a bit. Down slightly. There, grid large.
Nice. So what I'm doing is I am going to make a function. Let's draw the inverse. Let's pick a different. Let's go blue. Will be red be f of x. Blue will be the inverse.
So then you just switch the numbers, right?
Hey, you're the teacher now. You've got a whole bunch of people that you can just call on. So even if you don't know how to do something, this is a teacher move. This is a pro teacher move. If you get a question that you don't know how to do, you call in people and then have them tell you what to do so it looks like you know what's going on.
Here, call this.
Then would it be -31?
He's looking for some assistance. I'll be honest, I did not hear a single answer.
Use geometry or reciprocal slopes.
Yeah, because the-
There's no slopes.
Because you can find slope between any given 2 points.
You can find the derivative of any
But
of
it's
these
not
points
linear.
by just looking at
It
the
doesn't
slope.
have to be linear.
And then the
Um,
would be 1/.
I was being lazy because I knew if I tried to draw a nice function, it wouldn't come out good. So I was drawing some sort of a natural log function in red. So it's not technically individual points, but that was my. you want me to move down? Oh, it doesn't let me scroll down. Shoot. Well, good enough. We'll just erase that last point, and then that makes it perfect, huh? Okay, is that the inverse? Yes? I don't know, you're still staring at it. Is that the inverse? It looks decent to me. However, there's a nice easy way to tell if your drawings are inverse, which is related to Fogg and Goff. Does anybody remember that part?
Reflective of both axes. Reflective of both axes.
Kind of. You might mean it correctly. Okay, looking at that picture, you're definitely going to be a better artist than I am. Let's draw the actual functions on both of them. That might help. Sure. I mean, I guess that works. Yes, we'll go with that. I was trying to think of a strange, unique shape to make it more obvious, but that's good enough. How do we know if they're inverse visually?
If they flip over,
Flip over what?
like right here.
Yeah, you meant it correct.
What?
Yeah, no, you meant it correct. Like your dotted lines went all crazy. Let's do the dotted lines better. But you were correct. Nope. We've got a grid, so we can actually use the grid. Yeah, I know. Sometimes the smartboard works great, and sometimes it definitely doesn't. You're meaning correct, but you're just like trying to do a rough dotted line. Make a nice dotted line. Yeah, that's okay, good. I knew you meant it correct. Your first dotted line didn't do that. Okay, so what is the equation of that dotted line? Y equals x, good. So when you're doing f of g of x and g of f of x and getting an answer of x, that's the exact same thing as your functions are going to be mirror images around y equals x. So visually and algebraically, they kind of go hand in hand. Do you want somebody else to go now?
Sure.
Oh, okay. Didn't have to. I just thought I'd check. But you have to pick that person.
35.
I'm trying to make, that is such a terrible looking line. That is really fat. Okay, Stephen, you ready? So I'm kind of just making up some of this information here, but that tangent line that I drew in red, do you think you could draw its corresponding inverse information? And you have a whole bunch of people to help you out if you want. Well, that's why I just said you have a whole bunch of people to help you out if you want, and or if you need an emotional support person up there with you, go for it. Okay, so do you want some guidance as well? So where did I draw the first one? Well, yeah, I mean, like, you can point too, but where is that?
About
5-1. Okay, so where would you draw the corresponding inverse info? 1-5. Nice. Okay, good. Let's draw that one. Oh, you know what? It was really stupid of me. Maybe I should have you draw one that's not off the screen. So let's alter this a bit so that we can pretend I did this correct in the first place. Let's do it at 3-0, but where I didn't want to do it at 3-0 is I want to make a slope that's going to be more obvious. So sure. This is not very correct, but we're going to go with that. So at 3-0, I drew a tangent line that has a slope of 2/3. So at the point 0, 3, what would be the corresponding slope of the inverse? Okay, well, you're just trying to actually draw it, right? What would be the slope if this went over here? Next to the red line, can you write m equals, what did I say, 2/3? 2/3. What on earth did you just write? Whoa. Nice. There we go. That is much better. Okay, what would be the slope of the line you just drew on the inverse? Because the line you drew was great. I mean, like, that looks like the tangent line over there. Nice. Good. Yeah, you probably write it on there. Okay. Have you guys been writing any of this down, by the way? What? Why would you have not written this down? Yes, brains work.
Notes on the test, so use your brain on the test, use verb, use brain.
Okay, the rest of the normal world usually forgets a lot of information. I realize I don't like using the packets exclusively because I just don't like packets. Now, I use these packets because the information in them is really good and is very helpful for the AP test. But there's a lot of times I'm going to go off of the packets, and I would definitely write that down because I'm trying to give you information that will be helpful to you. Stephen, you can sit down if you want. Sorry. Yeah, you did great. That was perfect. Do you want me to leave that up there for a minute? Probably. Yes. I'm telling you right now, you'll want to write this down because otherwise the derivative of the inverse is going to be difficult to, like, there's a reason I haven't gone straight to just doing the formula because most people get really thrown off by it. And I find it helpful to refresh you on everything inverse related. I imagine you probably want me to go back a slide too after this. Okay, you're definitely going to need to know this. You guys are just very apathetic today. You only had 4 days off. So this wasn't like a summer vacation. 4 days should not be a complete memory wipe. It kind of looks like it though. Yes? So does anybody want this screen up or should I change it? Should we go on?
Go on.
Okay. Hey, now we're going to actually go to the packets. Stephen, do you want to call on somebody or call on a number? I don't care. This will probably be the end of what we're doing today, though. 24. That's a great number.
Yeah.
That's yours? Okay. Oh, boy. I'm questioning if I should have you go up there and write things down.
Yeah, I can't write.
I know.
Can I pick someone?
Yes.
Walquist.
Yes.
Now, this isn't great that I was wondering if I should have you write on the board or not, though. Oh, you can, sorry, go up. Okay, A says the table of values for f inverse of x. Now, up on top, you were given a kind of a double table. Basically, for f of x, you've got the point 3, 2, 1, -1, -1, 4. Do you think you could fill in kind of very quickly the inverse of f?
So we'll be using the same x values?
Yeah, this is all going to be based off of that table up there. I was trying to not give guidance on how to fill it out.
Okay.
Wait, wouldn't the second value for A be 3, 1, -1?
One, yeah. Sorry. My bad.
You don't have to apologize.
Okay.
It is, however, not correct. So let's go with that. Start with that.
This is incorrect?
Yeah. How come this is incorrect?
Switch the values around.
Yeah. So inverse means your x's and y's are flipped. So the numbers you just wrote down should go that column. Yep.
And so, oh, are we just the values?
Yeah.
Not the, oh.
What were you trying to write?
I was thinking
Like slopes?
yeah.
Oh,
That's confusing.
we will not be asked to find a derivative just from a table.
You know? Geez, that's-
You just want to fill a B?
Sure.
Oh, yeah, I thought that's you're asking me. Good, there we go. It is going to be really helpful for you guys if you are comfortable working with inverse functions. Because if you're not comfortable with inverse functions, the inverse derivative is quite horrible. So every year I usually try to just take today to remind you what inverse is. Tomorrow, we will go kind of straight to finding the derivative of the inverse. Now, it's not terribly different than what we did on our drawing, by the way. So, like our drawing when we had 2/3, 3/2, that is basically how you do the derivative of the inverse. But there is a formula for those that don't like using logic and just like going to formulas. But the formula is difficult if you don't know inverse. So, okay, we'll stop there.